to Friday, TGIF edition of the show, number one show in these streets, talking your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama magazine. And yes, I know I'm not in studio today. Monday, we'll be back in there. Back-to-back days of getting camp, all of that, had to take this one from the home location. But we appreciate you guys being in here. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, hit those thumbs up, get those like levels going right there. We appreciate that. Get in the comment section. We want all of your comments tonight. Get all your friends, your family members, your diehard Bama fans, casual Bama fans, consumers of Tide football to hit that subscribe button. Like the show as well. Subscribe to touchdownalabama.com. Do that right now. Subscribe to touchdownalabama.com while it's early in fall camp to get all of the information in the palm of your hands. I'm telling you, you want to know everything that's going on in fall camp. You download the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You subscribe to the site. You get there. Get all that good Alabama football content information right there. But daily super chat go $100. Daily super chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that from all of you. We got a jam-packed show. We're going to be looking at the Alabama cornerback room. This room is looking better than expected. Going back to SEC Media Days earlier in July, the conversation was the youth of Alabama's cornerbacks. They're young. You don't have that experience at corner. This is not going to be a good thing. And so far through fall camp, I know it's 2 practices, but so far, Kane Womack, Coach Mullen Gwist praising this cornerback room, in particular the freshmen in this cornerback room. All of those guys are taking strides, doing it the right way. This is very positive for Alabama. We'll also get into this Crimson Tide defense. I think this group is going to be aggressive. This is going to be an aggressive defense. Kane Womack talked about it. We are going to create turnovers. We are going to make plays. We are not going to be stagnant. There's going to be a lot of movement, especially along the defensive front. Then we'll also get into some other fall camp notes here for you on the show. But let's get to some comments. To start this thing off, let's get into some comments right here. We got my man Bob Rutherford checking in with an RTR. Roll Tide to you, Bob, helping us out here. Starting off the Friday show. We got Antonio Snell with Roll Tide. Roll Tide to you, Antonio. My guy, Roll Tide and Rise Up with a Roll Tide family. Happy to have you here. Jay Lee in the building. RTR, Roll Tide, roll everyone. It sucks living in Auburn, Stephen. Laugh out loud. I hate it for you, Jay Lee. I hate it for you, man. Jay Lee also giving that Roll Tide to Roll Tide and Rise Up. Plow Jogger! Roll, Bama, roll. Plow is in here. Aaron McGuire with the Roll Tide roll. Happy to have Aaron in here. We got my man, Y'all Warrior writing in. Blessings, Coach A. We are here this year. Roll Tide. Bama's here. Bama in the building. We got Mike Coleman, Roll Tide. Everyone rise up. RTR. Bama's in here. Bama is in here. We got John Gregory, Roll Tide, roll. Keep it rolling all season long. The season will be here August 31st. Plow Jogger writes back in. Stephen, have former Bama players been supporting the players and coaches? They have. We've seen former players back at the University of Alabama giving an encouraging word, giving encouraging messages to the current guys and this current coaching staff. So the alums have been very supportive of Kalen DeBoer, very supportive of his coaching staff and the players on this current roster. Also, shouts out to Trent Richardson and Christian Jones, 2 former Alabama players in the Nick Saban era with coaching jobs. Trent Richardson coaching at Hoover High School. Christian Jones got the head coaching position at Paul Bryant High School. Happy for both of those 2 national champions right there. Mike Coleman writes in, Stephen, Roll Tide to you, Mike. Happy to have you in here. Plow Jogger, know what time it is. You hit the like button. You smash the like button. Give us that thumbs up right there. Deborah Franklin with that RTRO tied to you, Deborah. Happy to have you checking us out here on tonight's show. So we're going to get into right now, people, as you guys are continuing getting your comments in. Get your comments in. We're taking your comments on this evening. We're going to stroll into now topic number one here of the conversation. And it's, and I teased it earlier, Bama's cornerback room looking better than expected. You go back to SEC Media Days in Dallas, Texas at the Omni Hotel. Everybody, including one Nick Saban, showed a lot of concern for Alabama cornerbacks, right? Because you graduated Terrion Arnold, you graduated Kool-Aid McKinstry to the National Football League. And yes, that's tough. And yes, that's difficult. And you just can't replace talent like that. But at the end of the day, the way Alabama recruits, and then you look at the coaching staff in here defensively, they've got guys that can be molded. They got guys that can be developed. They got guys that can play the position and that can play well in it. And throughout the first 2 days of camp, of course, today there was no practice. Tomorrow, the guys will be back out there 9:20 in the morning practice, and I will be out there for Saturday's practice session there at fall camp. But Wednesday and Thursday, the first 2 days, hearing from Kane Womack, hearing from Maurice Linguist, co-defensive coordinator and cornerbacks coach, these corners, especially the young freshmen, boy, are they looking good. Boy, are they rising. Boy, are they taking the expectation. They're taking to the competition. They are elevating their level of play. They look good out there. And this is huge for Alabama because if these young freshmen, if these young corners step up and play big-time ball, the future is extremely bright for Alabama in the secondary. I mean, Coach Kane Womack talked about it. Xavier Brown, Xavier Mincy, and Jalen Mbakwe are taking massive steps forward each day throughout this offseason. Massive steps forward. Kane Womack said Xavier Brown, extremely impressive. Jalen Mbakwe, guy has made the greatest strides of anybody on the team. And then Zay Mincy has done his thing as well. Coach Linguist talked about, when you look at Xavier Brown, high football IQ, high football character. It means a lot to him. He works at it. His eyes are always in the right place. He's extremely disciplined. His technique is in the right place. Everything that Xavier Brown does, it's in the right place. And that's what you want as a freshman. Like, as an Alabama fan, that's what you want to see the freshmen out there doing. Not acting like freshmen, acting like, hey, I've played this position, I've been here before, and I've talked about it. Of all of the freshmen, Xavier has the most, I guess, teach tape experience of the young corners, him coming from Mater Dei High School, the powerhouse over there in Santa Ana, California. And now Xavier's added weight. He came in 6 feet, 180 pounds. He's now pushing 190. So David Ballou has added 10 pounds of muscle to Xavier's frame. This is big here. So you got the young corner stepping up. Then Coach Linguist even brought up Red Morgan, who can play corner. He can also play safety. The young man from Central High School, Phoenix City, Alabama. Red Morgan getting his hands on more footballs. He's batting balls down. He's creating turnovers out there at practice. Red Morgan getting his technique cleaner. He's cleaning up some things. This is really good. This young defensive back class that at SEC Media Days, people were saying they're too young. Oh, no, this isn't good. This is bad. These guys looking better than expected. They're playing ball in fall camp. I know it's early. But throughout the offseason and through the first 2 days of camp, to hear this from Coach Kane Womack, how these guys are taking huge strides, progressing extremely well, and to hear this from Coach Linguist, who is primarily solely working with the corners, this is big. And not just the young guys, the two transfers, Damani Jackson and Deshaun Jones, both playing well so far. Damani Jackson, Kane Womack, very impressed with him. What he's done from spring ball to right now, very impressed with Jackson, the transfer from USC. But Deshaun Jones, I mean, according to Kane Womack, he's earned the nickname Day-Day. So, and I'm not talking about Day-Day on Friday with Craig Ice Cube. I ain't talking about that Day-Day. But he's earned the nickname Day-Day. And when you earn a nickname from your coach on staff, you're doing something right. So Deshaun Jones has changed his body. He's been very strong these last 6 to 8 weeks. He's been on campus. He's playing fast. He's playing with confidence, doing very well out there, according to Coach Womack. And according to Coach Linguist, low ego guy, very strong inner confidence. He's executing on the field. He's bringing that leadership. He's bringing that experience. Guy's good out there. So even the transfers, Damani Jackson, and Deshaun Jones, both of those two playing well here so far to open fall camp. So while a lot of people were questioning the Alabama secondary, primarily the cornerbacks, they are looking better than expected here, folks. So this is good. And as I mentioned, if these freshmen can pop, the future, bright. The future, insanely good for Alabama and its defensive secondary. We're going to go to a quick break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we're going to go to the comment section. We're taking your comments. I mean, how do you feel about the cornerback room growing, progressing? We'll get to you after this. But first, a word from our guys at Alumni Hall. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah, this. Oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. You know what time it is, baby. Go to Alumni Hall, our partners in T-Town, Midtown Village in Tuscaloosa. We appreciate them helping us out here. Touchdown Alabama magazine right there, Alumni Hall. But now, we get to your comments from the break here on the show. Taking all of your comments here. And we will start off, my man from right here, Stephen Smith. What particular group is DeBoer coaching? Okay, so it's been very interesting from watching Coach DeBoer, right? Because one day of practice, he'll be around the quarterbacks. Then the next day, he was around the running backs, working the turnover drill, making sure they're securing the football, holding the ball high and tight. Then he'll move around the receivers. I don't think he's coaching a specific group. I think DeBoer just moves around, right? He lets his assistant coaches do that. So DeBoer just kind of floats around. You'll catch him 1 minute with the quarterbacks. You'll catch him 1 minute with the running backs, 1 minute with the wide receivers. He'll move his way to the offensive line. He'll move his way to defensive position groups. He'll go to the tight ends. But DeBoer just doesn't stay in one spot. He floats around. As opposed to Nick Saban, he pretty much stayed with the DBs, right? That was Nick Saban. But DeBoer kind of moves around. He gets around to everybody. And that's cool to see that. It's cool to see him kind of work around the whole practice field. So he doesn't necessarily coach one position. He moves around. Let's see. Mike Coleman writes in, Steven, who is really standing out in our secondary, the young guys transfer? So who's standing out? Xavier Brown is. Xavier Brown standing out. Damani Jackson standing out. Jalen Mbakwe standing out. Red Morgan looks good out. I mean, this secondary, you're going to be rotating guys in the secondary. They're young, but they have taken on the coaching. They've taken on the expectations. Zay Mincy's playing good right now. Everybody in the secondary is hungry because I'm pretty sure it got back to them, all of the worries and the concerns from SEC media days. I'm pretty sure it all got back to those guys. And they've been working their tails off from the summer to the first 2 days of fall camp. And I'll be back out there tomorrow, being Saturday, to get even more content, even more clips, even more video and information. But the young corners, all of those guys, the young guys in the secondary, they're all doing some special stuff out there. The transfers, Damani Jackson, like I mentioned, Kane Womack's impressed with him. Deshaun Jones has come in here, changed his body. He's played well. Now, King Mack, the young man that came in from Penn State, still kind of working with him. I know he was in a boot, during the offseason. He was at practice on yesterday, didn't go through a whole lot of drill stuff. Hopefully, they have him back, full go at some point. And then you look at, Cameron Howard of a transfer from North Carolina at Charlotte. He was out there going through drills as well. But the young guys and the transfers in that defensive secondary, those guys are stepping up. They're stepping up. Plow writes in, TGIF even shortened. The NFL Hall of Fame game was awesome last night. Football is back, baby. Football is back. Shortened Hall of Fame game was cool. It was good to see John Mechie back out there. For all that guy has been through, whether it was college at the University of Alabama with the knee injury and having to wait his time, whether it was he finally gets to the NFL and he's diagnosed with leukemia and he has to fight his way through that. Now he's finally in the best shape of his life. I am looking forward to watching John Mechie dominate on the field for the Houston Texans. I just am happy to see Mechie back out there. GT18. Plow, that's from Plow Jogger. TGIF to him as well. Kick back with the cold one. Listen to Steven talk about our Crimson Tide, the greatest football program in the land. How about, GT18, can't beat it, right? Sitting back with a cold one. Listen to yours truly break down the Crimson Tide. Mike Coleman with thanks right there. I was answering Mike's question, Mike, no problem. Southern Red writes in, good evening, Stephen M. and Bama fam. Good evening to you, Southern Red. Happy to have you. Checking out the show here on a Friday. Mike Coleman writes back in, Morgan looked pretty good on A-Day. Red Morgan did. Morgan made plays in spring ball, and now he's doing it in fall camp. So that guy is going to get on the field. Now, of course, needs to add a bit more muscle. I understand that. Probably needs to get a bit thicker. I understand that. But the natural, instinctive playmaking ability, Red Morgan has that. And there's going to be a point in this season he's going to get on the field and make something happen out there. So I'm excited about Red Morgan. Aaron McGuire, keychains. You got to get you those keychains, those University of Alabama keychains. Get your hands on those keychains, folks, at Alumni Hall. They got it. They got you ready for the upcoming season. Plow Jogger writes back in, I had a Batman keychain and my son stole it from me. Oh, man, Plow, no, now. You had the Batman You had the Batman keychain, bro, and the son, and your son stole, man. Please, my guy, please give Plow Jogger back the Batman keychain. You can't steal the Batman keychain. That's the one keychain you can't be stealing. It's the Batman one. Oh, my goodness. You are more than welcome, Mike Coleman. Happy to answer that question that you had. Plow writes in, Milroe needs that ball security drill. When he runs, he carries it way too low. Now, Coach DeBoer does have the quarterbacks in that ball security drill where he's sticking the little thing out there trying to knock the ball out the quarterback's hands. Milroe didn't drop the ball. on this account. So when DeBoer is out there with the quarterbacks and running backs, he does have the drill where he's the one that's trying to poke the ball out or knock the ball out at the running back's hands or the quarterback's hands, doing that ball control drill or that turnover drill there. Jeremiah Taylor writes in, most interesting position battle this fall. That's a good question. The most interesting position battle this fall, I got to look at, that's a good question. The most interesting, I would look at tight end, right? After CJ Dupree, who else can really sort of pop? That's my big thing. That tight end room, because the talent's there, right? The depth is there. The players are there. But outside of CJ Dupree, and I even want to see CJ pop, right? But who can be the guys that can make those plays in the passing game in the tight end position? That's my thing. That's my thing right there, the tight end room. My man, JD Long. What's up, my guy, Stephen? Hey, I'm good. I'm good, man. Enjoying this Friday. Enjoying the opportunity to talk Crimson Tide football with you guys, the Bama football fan base. GT18 writes in, it was great to see Mechie out there last night. I tuned in for a bit. GT, it was good to see Mechie out there. It was good. And like I said, I want this to be a monster year for him after everything he endured, not just as an Alabama football player, but in the NFL, as well. We got my man J.D. Long dropping that $9.99 the super chats. Let's go. We rolling here on Friday. We got J.D. Long putting the love there in the bucket. Appreciate that. And oh, snap. He came back with $19.99 more. Okay, JD, we see you. We see you. We see you, JD. Let's roll with it in. We got Duval Sanders. Roll Tide, everybody. Steven, could we see a 2 running back set in this offense? Milrose with Haynes and Jam Miller. Scary, man. I think we can. I think we will. I think Duval, we could see some packages where you got Milroe in the shotgun, and you have Haynes and Miller both flanking him. Or we could see some plays where Milroe's in the shotgun, right? And Haynes is flanking him, but then you would have Jam Miller out there as a receiver, and you move Jam Miller in motion and put him right there as a running back. Like, you could see a lot of 2 running back system packages in this offense. I mean, with the way DeBoer, Nick Sheridan will scheme this, you can see a lot of that in this offense. We look at Mike Coleman. What is the O-line looking like? O-line looking good so far. I mean, they're mixing and matching a lot here at the offensive tackle position, Mike. So Elijah Pritchett's getting burned at tackle. Caden Proctor's getting burned at tackle. Wilkin Formby's getting some looks at tackle. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried maybe moving Tyler Booker to tackle to see how does he look in that spot. So there's been a lot of mixing and matching going on right now, but it's been good for the offensive line. They're getting that continuity. They're locating the best 5 guys they can put out there on the field as starters. But Parker Browsford looks good out there at center so far. Jaden Roberts, Tyler Booker, what both of those 2 give you as massive human beings. They both look good out there. It's just been a lot of mixing and matching at the offensive tackle spots, trying to get the best formula of 5 on the field. GT18 writes in, good point, Steven. Somebody needs to match what CJ will do at tight end. We get some bookends at tight end who are multiple in what they can do. We can be more dangerous on offense. This is true. And this is why, GT, I'm waiting for guys like Danny Lewis Jr., who's a freak athlete. Danny Lewis could do it. You've got Robbie Oots, who many of us look at as more of an H-back for a tight end because of his blocking ability, but he can get out there and catch the ball too. I mean, then you got Ty Lockwood's got talent. Jay Lindsey's got talent. Josh Cuevas, the transfer from Washington's got talent. But you got to have somebody match what CJ Dupree brings to the table. So hopefully that guy makes his way to the forefront. My man Bill, Big Bill from New York with that $7 donation, dropping it in here. Let's go, Bill. Bill helping us out on the show, putting the love there in the bucket. We appreciate Bill on Friday. And everybody shouting Bill out, roll tide and rise up. Bill from New York is in here. Yeah, Bill in here. Can't have a show without Bill. Bill is in here. Dre Lively writes in, you think Justin Jefferson gets some time on the field? I think so. Kane Womack said yesterday, Justin Jefferson has emerged to where Bama's got 3 starters at inside linebacker with Lawson, Campbell, Jefferson. Jefferson's emerged to where Kane Womack considers him a starter at that inside linebacker position. So Jefferson's going to get playing time. He's going to get quite the amount of playing time. Now, the big thing here is Womack also highlighted Jeremiah Alexander. He also highlighted Justin Okonkwo, both of those two, and saying how they've both been doing some stuff here. They both have looked good. So this inside linebacker room, the depth is starting to really step up. The depth is starting to really sort of make itself known. So Justin Jefferson is being looked at as more of a starter with Lawson and Campbell. But then some of these younger guys are starting to draw praise from the coaching staff as well. Mike Coleman writes in, thank you, Stephen. No problem there, Mike. Keith Williams with the Roll Tide, everyone. Roll Tide, roll, everyone. Happy to have you here, Keith. My man Bill, Stephen, today I had a weird thought that Saban will be coaching again next season. Bill, I don't know if that's going to happen, Bill. I think Saban is perfectly fine in that retirement advisory role. I don't know if Nick's going to coach again. Now, if he does, it'll be unbelievable, but I don't know if Nick going to do it again. From writes in, Stephen M., what's going on, man? Yep, I'm on the mic right here. On the mic right here, giving you your Bama football information. Appreciate everybody writing in so far. JD Long, where's my guy Waylon? He should be in here soon. Waylon should be in the chat soon. We'll see. Waylon should be in the chat soon. Okay, Plow writes in, my VPN has the option to choose which city I appear to be in. One of them is Gotham City. Okay. Hey, got Gotham City with the Batman keychain. You can't beat that. Gotham City with the Batman keychain. You can't beat that. All right. Bill said, I didn't say where, LOL. Hey, you did not say where, Bill. You did not say where. But if you had an idea, Bill, if Nick Saban were to come back and coach again, if you had an idea of where he could go, drop that in the chat, Bill. Drop that in the chat there, Bill. If you have an idea of where he could go. Let's see here. John Griffin writes in, Stephen, I love Coach DeBoer's offensive strategy. Let's hope his West Coast defense, let's hope he left his West Coast defense back in Seattle. I'm going to say this. Now DeBoer's not going to be coaching the defense. That's Kane Womack. And I think Kane, with what he is going to create, and I'll get into that, topic number 2 of the conversation, but with what Kane Womack is going to create in this defense, it's going to be fun to watch this. It's going to be outstanding to watch this. We got the real dynasty with RTR Roll Tide to you, my man, as well. And then last but not least, we got Mike Coleman. Saban making $5 million a year at Bama and doing ESPN game day while being retired. He's good. Hey, Mike, I agree with you. Saban making $5 million a year at Bama, still doing ESPN stuff. Hey, I mean, he is perfectly fine where he is right now at this point. Southern Red writes in, love hearing that aggressiveness from coaches behind the scenes today. The standard continues. Absolutely. Absolutely. And what was cool was, before we take our break, what was cool, Southern Red, was this. The strength coach, Dave Ballou, if you watch the video that was on social media today, David Ballou, before the team even practiced Thursday, was getting into everybody's face like, I don't care if it's hot. I don't care about the heat. We about this. We like David Ballou was doing Scott Cochran-like things in terms of that raw, in your face, get your mind right motivation. And we haven't seen that at Alabama since Cochran. So to have Coach Ballou sort of take that on in Thursday's practice, showing that aggressiveness, I enjoyed that. I really, really like that. And that needs to keep going. That needs to keep going. But we're going to take another break right here, folks. When we get back, we're going to get to topic 2 of the conversation when you look at Kane Womack and what he wants to see aggressive-wise from this defense. But first, another word from our guys at Alumni Hall. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah, oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. Absolutely, folks. Go get that gear. Alumni Hall. They got you taken care of right there, Midtown Village in Tuscaloosa. But right back into the action from the break on Friday, TGIF edition of the show. We're bringing you Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. But now we look at one, Kane Womack. Kane Womack highlighting pass rushers in fall camp. The defensive coordinator, 37 years of age, spoke yesterday about we're not going to be a stagnant, eating up blocks, eating up gap defense. No. There will be times where we'll have to take on some blocks, but we're going to create movement. We're going to create pressure. We're going to create matchups where our best pass rushers are on the opposition's weakest link. That's what Kane Womack said. He mentioned, hey, we want to create turnovers. And the best way to create those turnovers, we got to consistently get pressure on the quarterback. Whether we are hitting that guy, whether we are collapsing the pocket, whether we are, knocking the ball down, whether we are, making it uncomfortable for him to throw, we have got to bring pressure in order to create turnovers. And he has been emphasizing this from summer workouts now into the first 2 days of camp. Now, it was awesome hearing the names of which he highlighted here on defense in terms of being aggressive. He highlighted Jamarian Latham as a pass rusher. He highlighted Keon Keeley as a pass rusher. He highlighted Jordan Renard as a pass rusher. He guys like Quay Russaw, guys like Keanu Coote, Quandarius Robinson, Yancey Pierre. He highlighted all of those dudes as pass rushers. He talking big about, we got some guys that can affect the quarterback. We got some pressures that we can come up with. We got some things we can do to make sure we're aggressive, we're hitting home, we're making plays, we're causing turnovers. Christian Robinson, Alabama's outside linebacker coach, has a lot of those wolf backers he's working with, and he mentioned guys like Quandarius Robinson, Keanu Coote, and Quay Russaw. They're ready right now. They're chomping at the bit right now. And then behind those two, Yancey Pierre has stepped up. his game. Jay Sean Ross, the freshman, stepping up. Noah Carter is stepping up. So Bama's got pass rushers. It's now creating opportunities for them. That's what it is now. Ken Womack talked about it. We're not going to be stagnant. We're not just going to be eating blocks. We're going to have movement. We're creating momentum. We're getting our best on your worst, and we're getting after the quarterback. That's what we're doing. And when you look at the team, you look at the players that Alabama had in years past, coordinators like Kirby Smart and Jeremy Pruitt, that's what they did. They got Alabama's best pass rushers on the opposition's worst lineman, right? They got Jonathan Allen, Sean Robinson, Deron Payne, Jaron Reed, Dalvin Tomlinson, Deshaun Hand, Tim Williams, Ryan Anderson, Christian Miller, Rashawn Evans. They got those guys on the worst offensive lineman, creating one-on-one to flat out get home on the quarterback and produce those takeaways. When I look at this defense under Womack, it's going to be aggressive. They're going to have blitzes. They're going to have different looks. Now, of course, he wants to create pressure with a 4-down line. He wants to create pressure with a 4-down look. And there will be times Alabama will be able to do that, especially with some of your 4-down linemen being, Jaheim Otis, Tim Keenan, Tim Smith, Jamarian Latham, LT Overton, who the reason why LT Overton missed the first 2 days of practice, feeling a little ill, a little sickly, but Coach Womack mentioned he'll be back in the next day or two. So he may be back out there tomorrow. And I will be looking to see if he's back out there on the field. But that was just the update on LT Overton from Coach Womack. But he's going to want to create pressure with 4 down. But along with that, there are some things that Womack is disguising to have different blitz packages. It's going to be intriguing. This team, defensively, they are going to be aggressive. They are going to come after the opponent. They are going to come after the opposition. And this is what you, as Alabama fans, have been waiting for. When can this program get back to creating those massive plays on defense where it's a sack after a sack after a sack after a negative play after a negative play after a tackle for loss after a tackle for loss? There's an interception after interception. There's a forced fumble. It's going back to the house for a touchdown. You guys have been waiting for that type of ferocity to return defensively. And Kane Womack's the guy to bring that level of it to this defense. And the players are bought into it. Jaheim Otis has kept his weight down. He's picked up the terminology. He's picked up the verbiage. He's picked up the framework of this defense. He's playing well. Keon Keeley's picking up everything better. He's out there playing. Jordan Renaud's picked up everything. He's out there playing. Like these guys have picked it up. They've picked it up, and they're out there playing, and they're out there executing what needs to be done. So this is going to be very exciting. The best friend of a secondary is having a defensive front that is constantly, nonstop creating havoc. And I think Alabama's got the guys up front that will constantly do that with Kane Womack coaching these guys. But right now, we're going to slide back into the comment section. We're going to take your comments here at this time. And, oh, man, you guys are lighting this up. You guys are lighting this up in the comment section. Let's see here. We will pick up with, all right. We got Mike Coleman. Yeah, David B. was giving it hard to him in the video. He was. And that's what Alabama needs right now. They need that raw motivation, get your mind right. That's what made it successful with Scott Cochran. That raw, motivational, intense, get your mind right, put those players in the right mentality. David Ballou has taken on that role, and I'm happy to see him do that. I'm really happy to see him do that. We got here LaQuasha Gordon with the 3 elephant emojis. LaQuasha, happy to have you in here on the show. We got my man Plow Jogger. I think we should do a Knicks Kids fundraiser with a show before the season starts. Maybe get Saban in here to answer questions, current, former players, cheerleaders, and media folk. You know what, Plow? That's a good idea. You know what? That's a good idea. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that down and bring that up in the next TDA business meeting. That's a good idea, Plow. Appreciate you for putting that idea, Plow. That's a great idea. We're going to go to my man GT, my man Keith Holcomb, giving a roll tide to GT 18 here, on the show. From writes in, Blue is a big dude. David Blue is a big dude. He's a big dude. And like I said, he's out there in the heat giving it to them players. He's out here in the heat going, we don't give a blank. We out here. We've been out here. We've been doing this out here. We don't care if it's hot. I'm like, okay. He had me, right? And I'm not even an athlete at this point anymore. But he had me ready to run through a brick wall. He had me ready to put some pads on and make it do what it do. He had me ready to go. There we go. We got who wants to know? Writes in roll, Toddy Bow. Here we go. Who wants to know is in here? Keith Holcomb got the Lank documentary did come out today. I didn't get a chance to watch. I'm going to have to catch it there on the replay. But for those of you who got a chance to watch the Lank documentary, what did you think about it? Put your comments in the chat there. What did you think about the Lank documentary? I haven't watched it yet, but I will catch it on the repeat. Anitra writes in, counting down to some Bama football. We are counting down, Anitra. We're counting down. We ready. August 31st, season opener, home opener. Bryant Denny, Nick Saban Field between Bama and Western Kentucky. We are all ready for Bama football. We got the Real Dynasty 18 writes in, Steven, do you think Bama is going Jordan brand? I'm a huge Jordan fan merch. I'm spending big racks on Jordan brand. I think Bama has already done that. I think Bama this offseason, they've already put together a deal with the Jordan Jumpman brand. I think they've done that. I've seen some pictures of Emmanuel Henderson with the Jumpman and a few other guys. So I think Alabama has already put that branding in the work, partnering with Jordan's Jumpman brand there. But here we go. Roll Tide and Rise Up writes in, I've been messing around for the past month. It has been really too hot. It's been hot out there, y'all. It's been hot out there, y'all. Y'all be careful out there. Y'all be safe out there. It has been hot out there. Absolutely. Let's see here. The Real Dynasty 18. Sterling Dixon. Sterling's had a good camp. Sterling's had a good offseason. He's having a good camp so far. He's growing at that inside linebacker position. He's growing. So all you want to see is continue to have him grow in that inside linebacker role. Big Bill writes in, Quandarius does not get enough love, in my opinion. He reminds me of Ryan Anderson, seriously. Q-Rob has had to wait his time, Bill. He's had to wait his time. He came in 2020 as a 5-star from Jackson Olin High School in Birmingham. He came in, the COVID year, was one of few guys to have a national championship ring on this year's team. Q-Rob waited behind Will Anderson, waited behind Dallas Turner, waited behind Chris Braswell, and so now it's his time. 6'5", 231 pounds. He's a good pass rusher. It's now his time to show the NFL scouts why he's next in line to get drafted from that outside linebacker room. So Q-Rob, he knows what's expected of him this season. The Real Dynasty writes in, Pruitt was all about pressuring the quarterback. That's why our defense was so good under him. He didn't play soft. Pruitt didn't play soft. And Pruitt didn't overcomplicate things. He had about 4 to 5 plays he had the team run. And the defense ran those 4 to 5 plays to absolute perfection. Pruitt didn't bombard the players with a whole bunch of stuff. He kept it simple. He kept it easy. It was 4 to 5 plays. Go out there, run around, do your thing. Play with your hair on fire. And I think Kane Womack, the exact way. Not going to bombard these guys with a whole lot of stuff. Go out there, run around, knock somebody's head off, play with your hair on fire, get with the quarterback, force turnovers, be relentlessly dominant on the field. I think that's what Kane Womack's going to do. We got Keith Holcomb writes in, tie your allure on the press, tie your allure on, press the button. Okay, all right. Hey, there you go. There you go there for Keith Holcomb right there. Let's see here. We got my man Don Parker's in here. Good evening, everyone, and Roll Tide. Roll Tide to you, Don Parker. Happy to have you in here. Let's see here, Don. I think Don also had a donation in here. Let me get to that, Don. Let me get to that, man. Let's see here. There we go. We got my man Don Parker with that $20 donation, throwing up the link. Don Parker in here helping us out on the show. Once again, you guys, if y'all caught the Lank documentary, what did y'all think of that? What did y'all think of that? The Lank documentary. Okay, Keith Holcomb talking about fishing. There we go. I knew Keith Fishing was in there. So I knew you hadn't been talking about fishing there. You know what? For me, I gotta get my fishing rod back out there, man. It's been a minute, man. I gotta get back out there, trout fishing, bass fishing. I gotta get back out there, man, for real. I mean, catching some trout, some bass, man, catfish here and there. Keith, I gotta get back. Keith, what's the best fishing spot, man? Let me know. What's the best fishing spot? I gotta get back out there. Drop in, Keith, the best fishing spot you know, or anybody drop in the best fishing spot you know. Because I definitely got to get my fishing rod and stuff back out there, man. I'm just being real with that. GT18 writes in, Baloo with that Scott Cochran energy. I like it. Reminds me of that era of the coaching staff, which are real good memories. Hey, and it's good that Baloo is bringing that Scott Cochran-like energy because, like I mentioned, the players need that get your mind right. The players need that raw motivation. Sometimes it's good to have that rah guy. Not every team needs it, obviously, but sometimes it's just good to have that rah guy in your face, getting you pumped up, getting you ready and set to go, right? So sometimes it's just good to have that. Damon Davis writes in, what's good, Bama Nation? It worked pumping this load off. Glad I can chime in. Steven M, that dude, I appreciate you, Damon Davis. I appreciate you, man. Hey, even while you're at work, you are checking out the show. That's awesome. Even while you're at work, you are checking out the show. That's what I appreciate. That's what I appreciate. Plow Jogger writes in, remember the time when if you missed the first 2 minutes of a Bama game, you missed a knot? Yes. There was a time where if you missed the first 2 minutes of a Bama game, you missed a non-offensive touchdown. And you as Bama Nation, y'all want to get back to that. Those non-offensive touchdowns, whether they came on defense, whether they came on special teams, getting back to having those. Damon Davis writes in, Stephen M. Smith, no one talking about Bama retaining Jeff Allen. That was huge. Yes, it was. Keeping Jeff Allen, your head team doctor, your head athletic trainer, very huge. First day of practice, what was Jeff Allen doing? Putting cold towels on the back of the players' and coaches' necks, keeping everybody hydrated. That's what Jeff Allen was doing. Now, I would have loved if Jeff Allen would have gave me one of those cold towels, but he didn't do that. But that's okay. Jeff Allen did not have to give you one of them cold towels, but keeping him huge, keeping him monumental, because he knows how to, in doing his job, keeping the players healthy. If the players get an injury, he's getting them back right, getting them off to the NFL, getting them off to where they need to go. So, I mean, for me, Jeff Allen, huge to have him back. Once again, I would have loved for him to have given me a towel, but it's okay. It's okay. Christian Hughes writes in, roll tide, Stephen M. Roll tide to you, Christian. Happy to have you in here. Don writes in, Stephen, David Ballou got me hyped. Get your mind right. He had me ready to go. Ballou had me ready to go. And I think he needed to be the one done to step into this role. He needed to be the one to step into this role that Scott Cochran had for so long prior to him going to Georgia. Like, Ballou needed to be in this role. And I am thrilled he's in this role because the players respect him. The coaches respect him. He's done an outstanding job of cutting the injuries. Under David, we can honestly say, under David Ballou, Bama hasn't had the crazy onslaught of injuries, and I want that to continue, absolutely. But David Ballou, Bama hasn't had that crazy onslaught of injuries that happened under Scott Cochran. So Ballou was the right person for this role, to get everybody's mind right. Big Bill writes in, Steven, you should be announcing Alabama games. You are the best, bro. Look, Bill, I'm waiting for somebody in the Crimson Tide Sports Network office to call this phone. I'm waiting on somebody in the Crimson Tide Sports Network office to call this phone. Once they call this phone and let me know, hey, we want you broadcasting games, I will be right there. They need to call the phone first, man. Pick up the phone. They need to call the phone first. Here we go. Who Wants to Know writes in, I want to give a shout out to you, Stephen M., and to Kangaroo Black. You guys keep me laughing and informed about the Alabama Crimson Tide. Roll Tide, roll. Hey, no problem. Who Wants to Know? Happy to do it. Enjoy doing it. It's fun doing it. The Real Dynasty writes in, Stephen, tell them how fast Mbakwe and Henderson and Law, they all speed demons. Mbakwe's fast. Henderson's fast. I watched K-Law catch a ball right in front of me yesterday at practice. He's fast. Ryan Williams is fast. They're all just fast. And they're all competing against each other. Absolutely. GT18, Jeff Allen, nothing but respect, man. Takes care of those guys. Jeff Allen does. He takes care of those guys. He keeps those guys hydrated. He makes sure those guys are eating properly, practicing properly, resting their body properly. And even if there is an injury, he gets those guys stitched back up fast. There are so many players that owe a lot to Jeff Allen and for Alabama football. They owe a lot to him. My man Jason Haywood dropping in that $5 donation in the bucket, helping us out here on the show. We will win the SEC this year. I'm calling it now. Nothing but the Tide, baby. So Jason Haywood, he's got Alabama winning the SEC this season. He is calling it right now. How about that? Absolutely. How about that? Oh, okay. Eric Schoenheimer writes in, Steve, 2.5 miles on Highway 80 outside of Uniontown, east side, on your right-hand side, best fishing hole. Good luck. Oh, okay. Uniontown then. Gotta go back to Uniontown then. Okay. That won't be far from me. Gotta go back to Uniontown. I got you. We got Plano, Maine, 61. Ballou had me saying, put me in the game, coach. He had me saying the same, man. Like, Ballou had me ready to strap some pads on, get out there, and make something shake. You got to have that guy getting everybody's mind right. Ballou did that yesterday in practice. But we're going to get into right now, folks. Final topic here of the conversation to wrap this up. You know, other players stepping up in preseason fall camp, and there's quite a few of these guys. I saw some good stuff from Bubba Hampton at wide receiver. He's got routes, y'all. Bubba Hampton's got routes. Number 21 at wide receiver. He's got routes. Like Bubba Hampton, what he's bringing out there. Another guy Another guy that I like out there, like Bubba Hampton, Brayson Hubbard. I like him. He's looking nice out there at camp. I like Brayson Hubbard. On the defensive line, Jeremiah Beeman is looking good out there. Jeremiah Beeman is looking real good out there. He's going to carve out some type of playing time as a freshman. He's going to have to carve out some type of playing time as a freshman. I like Jeremiah Beeman out there. And at corner, like I mentioned, Xavier Brown, Xavier Mincy, Mbakwe, all those guys are looking good out there. Justin Okonrokwo is looking good out there. Like, he's impressive out there. And the fact that coming over from Germany, the way he's played this offseason and throughout in fall camp so far, he's going to be able to carve out him some time as well. I do like what Okonrokwo is doing. So just some guys that, in my opinion, looking out there, stepping up in fall camp, starting to look the part, starting to add the weight, add the muscle, and show to everybody that they can be marquee factors, marquee contributors here where this defense is concerned. But as always, folks, you want the best in news, notes, information, material, entertainment on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. Good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll be back on Monday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football. Remember, Tide fans, you subscribe to touchdownalabama.com. You get you that subscription right now. touchdownalabama.com. You don't miss anything when it comes to fall camp. You follow us on Twitter at TD Alabama Mag. Follow us right there on Twitter for all clips, all content coming out of fall camp. I will be at fall camp on tomorrow. Once again, that being Saturday, getting all the information from the guys out there on the practice field. Appreciate all of you guys donating tonight, putting your comment, your thoughts in the chat line, your comments tonight. You guys making this your show, your spot, your space to talk all things Bama football. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith. You've been listening. Them own words.